Okay, so we have people still joining, but I think we are good to get started. So let me just begin by saying good afternoon, everyone. Welcome and thank you for your time attending this joint webinar being hosted by Al-Radin and Scylla, and also giving us the opportunity to showcase how Scylla can assist you on your current project requirements with their video analytics, with a little more of an emphasis on the retail segment and what you can get more out of your existing CCTV infrastructure. So let's begin. So for starters, just a quick introduction on me. My name is Sean Pearl, Sales Manager at Al-Radin, covering the MENA region, operating out of Dubai, and your host for today. So a little bit of a background on myself. I carry close to 2 decades of experience in the security industry covering MENA. And my job profile actually involves a lot of coordinating, working alongside with partners, system integrators, technology vendors, consultants, and a lot of marketing activities as well. So hosting of webinars, actively involved in road shows, technology days. And also joining me today is Anastasia from Scylla, the marketing manager for the region. So the main idea of this webinar today is to equip you as a partner with certain tools that will help you identify how you can use smart AI-driven technology, video analytics solutions from Scylla to help your organizations become more productive, more efficient, and in a lot of cases to help you save on money as well, with special emphasis on the retail segment. So today's session is being recorded, so you can grab your hands on this recording post the webinar. It will also be uploaded to Scylla's YouTube channel. And what we'd like to do is to try and make this webinar as interactive and engaging as possible. So you'll find a little Q&A box on the bottom of your screen. Please feel free to shoot your questions on there in case you've got any queries or in case you'd like some more information on specific solutions. All right, so grab your coffee. I've got mine, and let's get started. Okay, so to begin with, let me give you a little bit of an introduction as to who Scylla is and who Al-Radin is. So I'll begin with Al-Radin. Now, who are Al-Radin and what is it that we actually do? So Al-Radin is a value-added distributor operating out of Dubai and offering a complete turnkey solution package, across various product sets, which includes CCTV, access control, switches, storage, video management solutions, gate barriers, ANPR, video analytics, which is what we are actually going to focus on with our vendor Scylla, cabling and PSIM solutions. Now, the team at Al-Radin actually brings over 15 years of experience to the table. We are technically very sound. We've got good expertise, good experience in the region, having operated for so long, and a good network of partners that we work with as well. So you've got a lot of distributors currently operating out of the region. So what is it that makes Al-Radin different from the others? So what is it that actually sets us apart? Now, in the very true sense of the word, we actually operate as a value-added distributor. Now, me personally, I come from a background of a vendor and a distributor. And we've actually come to realize that, a lot of the distribution companies in the market currently have very simply become just box movers. So we've seen the gap in this distribution model, and given our experience, given our expertise, this is the gap that we are looking to bridge at Al-Radin. So the brands that we've actually chosen and we carry in the portfolio are world-class brands, meeting all of your client specifications. But more importantly, these are brands that we trust, we've got a good relationship with, we know the products inside out. So we take that bit of, most distributors have so much of a reliance back onto the vendors. We actually take that bit off because of our expertise, because of our knowledge. We can basically bridge that gap and assist you in several different ways. So what is it that Al-Radin has to offer in terms of service to system integrators? So some of the things that we assist with, one would be custom design systems. Now, we have a proper understanding of what the project requirements are. We can put together solutions in accordance with client specifications. and with the best in market products and solutions with what we carry in the portfolio. So for example, if you require assistance with a CCTV design, that is something that we can help with. We could also assist you with RFP responses. Now, compliances are quite a big aspect of, all of your project submittals. And let's be very honest, it's a very tedious task. So we take that bit off you, wherein we offer this as a value-added service. Then any kind of pre-sales and post-sales support, since we are in this region for a fair bit of time, we have good understanding of the market. We actually work as a consultant to our partners, recommending solutions, compiling different technologies that will give you a comprehensive solution package. Apart from this, our facility in Dubai, we've also turned that into a training center, wherein we host trainings for a lot of partners, consultants, end users on a regular basis, because we believe it's important for the entire community to basically stay up to date in terms of knowledge, and also, hands-on technical know-how, which is ultimately going to help them execute their projects more efficiently. Another service that we offer to system integrators is also on-site technical assistance. So we get involved directly in any kind of on-site technical assistance that you would need. This could begin right from the pre-sales stage, where you require assistance with a proof of concept, or even be it at the commissioning stage, when you're physically implementing the solution itself, you've got our support back there, and also on the post-sales phase. So any kind of troubleshooting, we get actively involved in this as well. So this is as far as the value that Al-Radin actually brings on to system integrators. Now, what sort of value do we add to the vendors that we actually represent? So some of these actually being consultant and regulatory approvals. Now, you know that with consultants, it's a constant work in progress, getting manufacturers approved, appearing on the approved vendor list so that you can get shortlisted, and you definitely stand a better chance of qualifying and successfully converting the opportunity. So we take this burden off the vendors. We actually help them in the process of getting these approvals. Apart from this, we also get actively involved in a lot of marketing activities with our vendors. So this is road shows, technology days, exhibitions, and the whole idea of this is to get our partners actually aware of what solutions are on offer, what the product capabilities are, how we stand to be different from the competition, all of these things. So it's more of educational sessions that we actually do. Apart from this, we also look at live demos and POCs. This is something that we take on board ourselves. And our office in Dubai, it's not just a training center, but we've also made it an experience center. So we have frequent visits from end users, from consultants, coming onto the facility, getting to see technology, the way it functions, the way it integrates firsthand, so that it gives them the assurance and that confidence in terms of being considered on opportunities. So this was a little bit of an introduction on Al-Radin. Now, let me tell you a little about Scylla as well. But before I jump into that, I'd like to just touch on a little bit of the AI subject itself. AI is one of the most talked about subjects these days, and quite the buzzword, if I can call it that. So you hear so much of AI driving the future. We've already seen so many different applications where AI has been implemented. AI can do this, AI can do that, it can automate processes, it can reduce human intervention, it can help organizations become more productive, more efficient, and all of these things. But when you tie up with an AI company, right, I think for partners, it's important to understand a little more about the company itself. Of course, your interest is going to be in terms of what products and what solutions they offer. But I'm sure you'd even like to know a little more about where the company is actually coming from. How long have they been in this kind of market space? Uh, Apart from this, the technology, is it developed themselves? This is another question to be asked, because these are all the kind of things and factors that are ultimately going to give you the confidence. It's going to build your assurance as well, that, okay, I'm tying with an AI-driven company that is sound, that has been in this market space for quite some time. So just to give you a quick overview on Scylla. The brand has been operational for over 6 years across the region. There are everything that Scylla does. This is something that I need to mention. All of the technology that is developed, all of the R&D, everything is done in-house and within the company. Now, traditionally, if you look at security projects, with CCTV cameras, it just stops at, let's say, monitoring or general surveillance, and that's it. But to be very honest, this kind of an approach is no good these days. If you see the nature of the projects that we deal with these days, they are so fast paced. They are faced with so many challenging environments that you can't just proceed with regular security. There's so much more that you need to cater to, and that is what is exactly achieved with the implementation of video analytics. So what Scylla actually offers, I'll tell you more about the solutions as we progress. But what Scylla offers is a layer of intelligence that is sitting on top of your existing CCTV cameras. You can consider it as adding a brain to your camera. So the camera doesn't just operate as a dumb device wherein you've got all of the recordings being done, pushed into some sort of a storage device. And then when certain incidents occur, you go back and you start searching what happened. So with these video analytics, you've got a system in place that is automated, that is basically going to generate all of the alerts for you instantly so that you can take action accordingly. So for a quick background on Scylla, they've been in operation for 6 years, like I mentioned. The brand itself is headquartered in Austin, Texas, USA. Regional offices in Poland, Oman, close to about 100 employees. And the company has actually seen a steady growth over the past few years. So talking to you about the history of Scylla a little bit. Now, if you look at the gentlemen that have actually come together to form Scylla, they've been in this industry for a fairly long period of time. And if I just talk a little about the advisors and the co-founders, they've got some pretty impressive backgrounds. They're holding PhD doctorates, they're ex-NASA, ex-FBI. So there's a lot of tech, a lot of R&D that has actually gone into Scylla being formed. And what was the primary objective? Now, Scylla actually considers itself to be a problem-solving company. They've identified various sort of issues, challenges that are faced in the security industry and developed analytic solutions for them. So there is an existing portfolio of analytic solutions that are already available, but the vision, the roadmap is to, of course, identify new challenges that the security industry faces and to have solutions developed for them as well. Now, when we talk about implementation of analytics, right, on your projects, now this could be for new projects. Now, in the case of new projects, this, is a little more simpler, I would say, because you have the luxury and liberty of choosing your components, looking at your network architecture, what sort of infrastructure do I need, all these kind of things. So you can basically put all the pieces of the puzzle together and have a solution proposed. But in a lot of cases, you've got analytics being asked on existing projects. So what happens here is you have got to make sure that the solutions that you're opting for are compatible with the existing infrastructure. So having kept that in mind, now, generally, if you look at the way video analytics works, you have your feeds that come from CCTV cameras and the analytics are processed on those feeds. So when it comes to Scylla actually implementing their video analytics, they are completely camera agnostic. It doesn't matter if you're using brand ABC or you're using brand XYZ. All we do is very simply pull up an RTSP stream from the camera, map it onto a smart GPU device, and all of the analytics are being run on that. So let me just show you what this device looks like very quickly. Right, so this is what our GPU monitoring device looks like. We call it it's the Scylla Asteria. Now, from your existing projects, from your existing CCTV cameras, you have a secondary RTSP stream that is being mapped onto this device. And on the live feed, in real time, all of the analytics are being processed. So, you've changed your whole approach on the security itself of being a lot more proactive rather than reactive. Now, Just one thing to mention, that since we use the secondary RTSP stream, all of your regular CCTV operations of, recording, viewing, monitoring, all of that continues the way it is without any disruptions. And this analytic system is just something that is running in parallel to your CCTV operation, and it can very, very easily be integrated with the existing BMS platform that you're using as well. Right, so let's just come back to this. Okay, so Scylla places a lot of emphasis on compliances as well. So all of their video analytics solutions are comply to all of the industry standards. And for Scylla, it's not just a matter of the sale of the product. They believe a lot in after-sale support as well. So there is a 24/7 support center that has actually been set up to assist partners with any sort of issues that you might face with regards to configuration, setup, troubleshooting, all of these things. Now, when we talk about implementation of video analytics, right, you've got to understand that this is a combination of software and hardware. The software part is, of course, the channel licenses for the video analytics. The hardware part is actually the whole backbone of the system. That is what is going to actually define how accurately and how efficiently your video analytics are running. Now, just to give you a very simple example, if you let's say you've got a car and you're driving that car wherein the engine is faulty, you're definitely going to encounter problems, down the line. So in a similar analogy, the hardware is in essence a very, very important part of your analytics performing very well. So what we've done at Scylla is we do realize that the hardware component can be a significant cost factor as well. So we had a small study done, Scylla versus competition. Where do we actually stand in terms of the hardware that we need to run our analytics? And we came to find that the hardware requirements for Scylla are roughly around 3 to 7 times cheaper than what the competition actually offers. Also, you would have heard of, a lot of different vendors actually offering you something analytics that are being offered on the edge on the cameras. Now, this is okay up to an extent, to be honest, because you've got to understand that when you talk about video analytics, there is a lot of processing that is involved. There is only so much that a camera with a small chipset can do on the edge. If you're looking for solutions that are going to be more accurate, solutions that are going to be more efficient, you have to look at dedicated hardware that you've got to run these applications. And that's exactly what we offer with our Asteria boxes. Right. So I'll show you a small document a little later on the kind of accuracy that we maintain on our analytics as well. Now, all of these accuracy rates are actually in surplus of 90, 95, 97%. And this is something that is constantly being optimized on a very, very frequent basis in order to make sure that from Scylla's end, you've got the best in market video analytics solutions that are being offered. Right. So what is the mission at Scylla? So this is what we are looking at doing with Scylla. One is empowering the security industry with next gen AI solutions. Now, there is a constant need for new developments as well. The security industry is always calling for different sort of solutions, some that are not available in the market. Now, this is one of the points that I really touched on a little bit earlier about, understanding a little more of the capability in terms of resources. What does your AI partner actually offer? Now, at Scylla, since all of the technology is being developed, R&D, all of that is being done in-house, we've even got the possibility of catering to custom solutions. So let's say, for example, you've got a project requirement that is calling for a solution not available on the market. That is something that Scylla can look at catering to as well on a case-to-case basis. Of course, for custom solutions, that comes with a development fee, but it's nice to know that, your AI partner is actually capable of addressing these kind of requests as well. All right. So So before I actually jump into what sort of video analytics solutions we can look at that specifically cater to the retail segment, I'd just like to give you a quick overview on where the MENA physical security market actually stands. So if I look at this, I mean, there's so much of stuff actually happening around in the MENA region. You've got enhancements to different kinds of physical infrastructure, so much of construction projects, uh, you name it. You've got hospitals, malls, schools, hotels, and so much more. From a security point of view, it means that you've got to cater to so much, right, with all of these projects actually coming up. But you also have to bear in mind that you're going to have to look into a lot of different scenarios that you're going to encounter during this process. So that would be not just regular surveillance, but catering to scenarios that could involve vandalism or breaches on your perimeter or some accidents that or casualties that happen on site, different sort of violent activities, thefts possibly. So when you talk about video analytics, this is a comprehensive solution on top of your regular CCTV that is actually going to allow you to cater to all of this. If I look at this very specifically in the retail segment, over 60% of retailers have either already opted or are planning to implement AI solutions into their operations. Now, this just goes to show how much of value they see coming out of an AI system and how it's actually going to help them optimize their business operations, maximize revenue, and so on. Even if I look at this from an investment perspective, specifically in the retail segment, statistics actually reveal a lot of the large retail chains have already invested very heavily into AI technologies. And the reason for that is they want to stay ahead of the game. They want to stay ahead of their competition. So this shows a very significant commitment, a very strong intent of integrating AI technologies into retail strategy. So I'll show you the solutions that we are going to cover, specifically pertaining to the retail industry from Scylla. But first, I want to give you a very realistic picture as to where security actually stands these days. So this is the kind of setup you'd have. You'd have your CCTV cameras, processing all of the images, sending it onto a storage device. And this storage device is managed by a VMS connected to the network, and your operator sitting on the other end sees all of this footage. So in a sense, this is something that you have, right? You've got one control room, hundreds of cameras, multiple video walls, maybe two or three operators that actually sitting viewing all of this. Now, let's be very honest, it's not humanly possible for these two, three guys to actually catch everything that's happening on screen. And this could be due to various reasons. It could be maybe he's working for long hours, so he's, tired. He can't really concentrate that well. He gets pulled in for something or different sort of scenarios. So this is where, from a security perspective, however, you can't really afford to miss out on certain events, especially if they are of a hazardous nature or a critical nature. You have an injury, you have some sort of theft, vandalism. So many times you've come across scenarios wherein, you've had a theft and you don't really realize it until a few days later. Or the same thing, even when it comes to vandalism, till someone has maybe physically gone onto that specific site and noticed that. So what happens in these kind of scenarios is you have your resources spend so much of time, so much of money, so much of effort, because they actually have to go back into the recordings and start searching. What happened, when it happened, who was involved, all of these things. Now, these can definitely cause a very serious impact on your operations, and it can also disrupt your business. And this is exactly where the video analytics solutions actually add value. You have an automated system in place that is already trained to pick up on specific activities. This, of course, depends on what sort of analytics you opted for, but it generates the alarms by default. You can tag that to some sort of a call to action. So what you're doing in theory is, number one, you're changing your approach to be a lot more proactive. And secondly, you're kind of automating a process as well. If this happens, do this. So you see, this is how you're relying a little less on human intervention, but you're putting a proper process in place that is help going to make your organizations a lot more proactive. So the question to ask is, how can I actually make my approach more proactive? So the answer to this, firstly, would definitely be with the use of AI technology. You know, with the current CCTV setup, there's no point of you just having recordings that are going into a box and you're only going to address it when something happens. There's so much more that you can actually do with that. There's so much of actionable insights, data-driven statistics that you can actually pull out, even when it comes to live data. Like if I look at retail very specifically, there's so much of business intelligence tools that I can actually extract from live video that is going to help me in so many different ways. So with the use of AI technology, of course, you can look at protecting your assets. You can look at improving operational efficiency. You can get access to various sort of data tools that is going to help you market better and ultimately help drive your sales. So with the use of AI, you can also have alerts in real time. Like I said, the system being a lot more proactive, a lot of different business intelligence tools, you can actually get a much better understanding of what are the sort of tools that you can be equipped with that is going to allow you to basically plan better, to execute better, and to tailor your marketing to suit customer behavior patterns. So this will also involves, understanding of different metrics, shopping patterns, what my target audience is like, all of these different things. Store optimization is also one of them. Now, another thing that you'd have to look into to make your approach more proactive is any sort of physical threats that you're actually exposed to. Now, this can seriously cause a disruption to your business. And should something of this nature occur, you definitely want to make sure that it's addressed almost instantly. So an AI system can help you achieve this as well. And the last point I would say is improved efficiency. You can have tools made available that enhance business operations. You can have data made available that you can actually integrate with third-party systems for automation, for example. So when we talk about AI systems, now let's just understand a little bit of what this is really about. So what should I expect from an AI system, or what does it actually have to offer? So there are three main aspects when we talk about an AI system. One, of course, is learning, or the first bit is learning. Now, AI systems learn from large data sets. They can identify patterns, improve accuracy over time. For instance, the system can learn to better recognize behaviors that are indicative of suspicious activity, let's say, by analyzing past video data. So you have a system in place that is pre-trained to deliver actionable alerts, notifications based on that specific activity taking place. So that is the first aspect. The second aspect, I would say, is reasoning. Now, just like the human brain, AI applies rules and logic to interpret video data. It draws conclusions based on predefined criteria. And this capability allows for automatic identification of suspicious behavior or any sort of potential threats that you might have. And the third aspect is self-correction. Now, AI systems, they continuously improve by learning from initial mistakes or feedback. For example, let's say if an AI model misidentifies a certain activity as suspicious, it will adjust its algorithms to avoid similar errors in the future. So this is what you can ideally expect from an AI system. So if I, as a retailer, specifically have not implemented AI or have not yet considered it, this is the question I would be asking myself. How can I implement AI on my projects? So here are a few things that you need to consider when looking to implement AI on your projects. The first thing is to actually assess your requirements. So you've got to determine what it is that you're actually trying to pull out of the system. What is your objective of actually implementing an AI system? So for example, I could look at protecting my assets. So if that's the case, then I'm looking at more of a loss prevention kind of a solution. Or maybe I'm trying to understand more on customer dynamics. Then I'm looking at proper retail analytics, things that are going to tell me about how many people came into my store, where they spend time, all these kind of statistics. Now, based on this, what you need to look into is how does this actually align with my operational and my security measures. So that would ideally be step number one. Step number two would be you need to choose the right solution that is actually going to deliver the kind of results that you're looking for. Now, when you choose a solution, it's important to keep a few things in mind. You have to think of compatibility. This is very, very applicable, especially in the case of existing projects, wherein you've got to fit in with the existing infrastructure. You need to factor scalability. How much can I expand in the future? How much does it allow me to expand in the future? And also the solution being future proof. So that would ideally be step number two. Step number three, and this is a very, very important aspect, is integration. Now, you have to consider how does my AI system actually integrate with the existing security and IT infrastructure. Now, you might be required to have a single interface wherein everything is displayed, all of your CCTV operations, all of your analytics, everything through one single interface, which could be the video management system. So is that in place? That is something that you need to assess. Something else that you would also need to look into is how can I actually, is it possible for me to extract data that I can use for third-party applications? Because this, in a lot of cases, helps you to actually automate processes. And the last bit I would say is to monitor and to optimize. You have to review the performance of the system over time. You might need to make minor adjustments that are further going to optimize the performance of the system. Right. So if I have to look at some of the use cases in retail very specifically, these would be some to mention. One, of course, is loss prevention. Now, for sure, if there is some sort of damage being done to your store or your facility, or some sort of a physical threat, this has to be dealt with almost instantly, because only in such a scenario wherein you're dealing with it, let's say almost immediately, are you able to minimize the damage as much as possible. Or in a lot of cases, with a proactive system in place, you could even possibly avoid such a situation. So the different use cases in this specifically could be a physical threat, if someone is actually to use a weapon, for example, or shoplifting. We hear of so many cases of retailers incurring so much of losses due to shoplifting. And why this actually happens is because most of them don't have a proper system in place that can proactively deal with this. There's no point in retrospectively looking at this because the damage is already done. So just to give you a very small example, now our systems from Scylla actually work on real-time feeds and give you instant alerts. So if I look at the case of shoplifting, you generally have, if it's a clothing store, you'd have a small metal device that is there on, let's say, the collar of a shirt. So should a person actually, attempt to steal this shirt, he only gets caught at the point when he's about to exit, and that too if there is a metal detector, because that beeps, right? Now, here again, coming back to my point of being proactive, with our analytics, and I'll show you this in a bit, you can have this picked up as soon as that incident occurs itself. So you don't even need to wait for that person to actually reach the exit to, question him or whatever. You can have this addressed much before. And let's be honest, see, if you're looking at shoplifting, right? Now, if should this sort of an incident occur, it can do a lot of damage to your brand name as well. And this is something that you would ideally want to avoid, right? So I'll tell you about a little more about the tools that we actually use to derive at these solutions. But this is one more use case. Another use case could be customer behavior analysis. Now, understanding customer dynamics, what are the different kinds of shopping patterns that I'm seeing? Are people specifically spending time in certain areas? So maybe I need to use that location more strategically. I can place my most popular products in there. Why? Because that is getting more footfall and people are spending more time there. So these are all the different kind of statistics that you can actually pull out to, optimize your store layouts, place your promotional offers more strategically, and so on. Another use case could be operational efficiency. Now, how does video analytics actually help in operational efficiency? You can use your resources more efficiently. For example, you can actually monitor what are the peak hours in my store. Is there a particular hour of the day where my store tends to get busy? Or is there a particular day in the week where my store tends to get busy? Now, um, making all of this data available allows you to actually plan with your resources a lot better. So operational efficiency is another use case, and also queue management. Now, as a retailer, you want your customer to have the best experience. You don't want him to, be at a store having to wait in a long queue till it's actually his turn and he makes his transaction and goes. So this queue management is also something that we can effectively address with analytics and an automated system in place that will, let's say, push the person onto another counter wherein he can be dealt with much more faster. Right. So ideally, you would look at implementing an AI system in retail, I would say mainly to cover these three aspects. One is security and enhancement. So instant monitoring and alerts, notifications for any incidents that might be of a suspicious nature. You can detect theft, you can pick up on vandalism, you can pick up on any sort of a physical threat. The second aspect I would say is operational efficiency, wherein you can manage your resources better, you can plan your marketing activities a lot better. And the last bit is, of course, making your customer journey as pleasant as possible. So you have various business intelligence tools that are available that will give you insights into shopping patterns, shopping age groups, statistics that will help you create a personalized shopping experience through behavior analysis. And then based on this, of course, you can have targeted marketing approaches. Right. So let's take a look at some of the analytics that Scylla offers, which are more applicable to the retail industry. Now, the first thing I'm actually going to begin with is a physical threat solution. Now, Scylla is actually very, very proud to say they are one of the best solutions available on the market as far as weapon detection is concerned, and specifically for guns. Now, their accuracy rates are in surplus of 99%, which is very, very impressive. And even if you look at the false positive rates, this is less than 0.01% per camera per day. So detections can be made at long distances. And here's the important bit. This can actually work very, very well despite what your background is like. So if your background is very dynamic, you've got a lot of changes happening, it doesn't matter. We are still able to focus on the point of interest, which in this case is, of course, a weapon. And we are able to pick up on that very accurately and give you an alert instantly. Now, to demonstrate this, let me just show you a quick video, which will help you understand this better. Right, so this is what our dashboard looks like. I'm going to show you this in a bit, but what I want to show you very specifically is on the weapon detection. Let's just choose a video here. Okay, now if you look at this scene, right, now the movement across frames is actually quite fast. Now, in spite of that, you can see we are able to actually pick up on the presence of a weapon. And why this is even more impressive is because it's a black gun that is being held, and the offender has also worn a black hoodie, right? Now, in a lot of solutions, when you have a black object with a sort of a background, it makes it quite difficult for that engine, let's say, to pick up on this sort of a threat, right? But for us, you can see how easily we are able to detect this in spite of the background, in spite of the quick frame rates, we're still able to pick up on this very, very specifically. So what we also do, actually, another thing I'd like to show you is when it comes to our gun detection, we not only detect the presence of the weapon almost instantly, but we can also go down to the level of classifying that weapon. Like, for example, if it's a gun that has actually been detected, I can go down to the level of actually telling you what type of a gun it was. Was it a regular gun, shotgun, rifle, all of these things. So in the weapon detection, gun detection is, of course, one of the solutions that we offer. But in addition to this, we also have a similar offering with knives as well. So any sort of a physical threat, be it gun, be it knife, this is something that we can cater to very effectively. So this is one of the analytics that you can consider when it comes to the retail segment. Now, apart from this, we've also got face recognition. Now, face recognition can actually be put to a lot of different use cases. It goes way beyond just regular access control, for example. So what we can do is actually pick up on people that are, let's say, that look suspicious, for example. But the question to actually ask here is, I'm a retailer. Let's say I'm operating in a mall sort of an environment. I've got hundreds of people that come in and out. Even if I've got a face recognition system, I don't have a database of all of the people that are walking in and walking out. So even if I see someone that's suspicious, how do I mark that person as a blacklist, for example? So to cater to these kind of scenarios, Scylla actually offers a very, very good tool, which is very, very applicable in the retail segment, called as face recognition with auto enrollment. So I'll tell you about the auto enrollment bit in some time. But for now, let me just show you how the watch list actually works. Just give me a minute. So take a quick look at this video and we'll. Right. So that was just a very quick insight for you into how the watch list can actually be implemented. Now, every time you know of a person that is, let's say, of suspicious nature, you would want to put him in a blacklist, right? And you want action to be taken on this immediately. So what you can do is being a little more proactive. Once you've identified a certain individual as to be under the watch list, you can already define what sort of a call to action you want taken based on that detection. So for example, if person A has been spotted, I can actually set a rule on the system saying that once this person is actually spotted, do this. For example, say alert the security guard. So, there's a vigilant eye that's actually kept for this particular person to monitor his activity and avoid a possible shoplifting scenario, let's say. So the face recognition with watch list, this is one thing, but here's the important bit that I really want to show you is the Scylla's face recognition with auto enrollment. Now, what we mean by auto enrollment, let me play this video and I will explain this in parts so that you get a proper understanding on this. So just take a quick look into this. So this is what I want to show you, because this is what the auto enrollment actually does. So what is offered as part of this solution is every time you have, if you've of course chosen for this particular solution, every time a person actually walks into the view of the camera grabs a snapshot. It gives him a very unique ID, like you can see on here. It classifies this person into gender. So is the person a male, a female? It classifies the person into a particular age group. So, there is a lot of data-driven statistics that you can actually pull out based on this. So bear in mind that this person is just a random person that's come in. I don't have him on my database, nothing. But with this ID that he's been tagged with, I can actually get insights into, is this a unique visitor? Has he come just once? Or if this same person has to walk into my store today and he walks into the store, let's say a week later, he's still picked up under the same ID. So I can pull out so many different statistics. I can tell who my unique visitors are. I can tell who my repeating visitors are. And with the classification being done as male and female, as gender, a lot of retail organizations would definitely want this sort of data. How many people are actually walking into my store on a daily basis? So, you could say, okay, we have a people counting system. You have 100 people. But with this particular system in place, I can go down to the level of actually breaking that 100 to say from the 100 people that came, 40 were male, 60 were female. So you see what this is doing. This is actually equipping you with so much of more information that is going to help drive your marketing activities. You can specifically look at target groups and run campaigns for them. There's so much that you can actually do. So, and I'm sure these are the kind of things that your customers actually also going to be more interested in. So this is the face recognition with auto enrollment. Apart from this, we've also got certain analytics that we offer that are classified as anomaly behavior. Uh, Now, in anomaly behavior, Scylla actually offers detection of behavioral gesture-related analytics. That is what we classify as anomaly behavior. So what are the different sort of solutions that we actually have on offer? One is aggressive behavior detection, or in very simple words, this would be fight detection. One sec, just give me a minute. Here we go. Yeah, in simple words, this would be a fight. So what we've done is we've actually trained our engine to analyze what a fight actually is. Two people coming together, shaking hands, okay. They hug each other, okay. But this whole gesture of, someone actually taking a fist and going to punch somebody, or like you can see here, where two people actually come too close and they start pushing each other. Now, this is what is actually analyzed as a fight. And you have alerts and notifications being given on an instant basis. Now, if should you have a fight in a retail environment, of course, it is a disruption to your business, right? I mean, the attention of everyone is drawn there, and it can do damage to your brand image as well. So should such a scenario occur, you would want to deal with it almost instantly. And our analytics, of course, gives you those kind of alerts that you can deal with it immediately. So so fight detection is one of the behavior analytics. The second one is shoplifting, or suspicious shopping behavior, like we call it. Now, let me have this demonstrated again with a quick video. So this again is a gesture-related analytic. Like you can see on screen here, this lady actually happens to take something from a shelf and actually put it into a bag. This again, gesture related. So the whole act of, taking something off a shelf, putting it into my pocket or putting it into my bag, that is what the engine basically catches. And now you've got to understand, currently where a lot of the retailers actually sit and why they incur so much of losses, especially when it comes to shoplifting, is because they are very, very reliant on traditional CCTV methods of just having a camera and letting it monitor and hoping to catch on something. And that too, if they've got an operator actually sitting physically in front of a screen and he sees that happen. But what we are actually offering with the analytics here is a proactive system, a system that's already trained based on these specific kind of gestures to pick up on this, send you an alert or a notification, and also have it tagged to some sort of a call to action. So you can deal with it instantly. Right. So that's that. Then we've got various retail analytics that we can also cover with a module called as traffic flow. Now, the traffic flow is actually a single module, but it can give you various different statistics. You can have people counts, heat maps, crowd detection, dwell time analysis. You can identify your peak hours. Okay, peak hours was more the face recognition, but take a quick look at this. Oh, sorry. Just give me a minute. Okay, here we go.
In today's fast-paced retail environment, understanding customer behavior is key to success. But how can retailers gain valuable insights to optimize their operations and enhance the shopping experience? Introducing Skylaw's Traffic Flow Analysis, the cutting-edge tool designed specifically for retail stores, shopping malls, and similar locations. Accurately measure foot traffic and get actionable data with heat maps on customer flow to streamline your store layout, drive sales, and improve operational efficiency. Gain insights into visitor count by specific areas within your store, enabling you to allocate resources and tailor marketing strategies effectively. Understand how customers move within your store with our directionality lines, allowing you to optimize traffic flow and enhance the overall shopping experience. Receive comprehensive and insightful reports, providing you with the data-driven intelligence needed to make informed decisions and drive business growth. Turn insights into impact. With Skylaw's Traffic Flow Analysis, empower your business with the tools it needs to thrive in today's competitive landscape. Get started today and unlock the potential of your retail space. Book a demo at skylaw.ai.
Right. So a quick example there on what you can actually achieve out of our traffic flow analysis. So I'll show you some demonstrations because I'm sure you'd like to see what is the kind of statistics that you can actually pull out from the system. So we'll take a quick look at that in a bit. Now, one of the things the solution also delivers is heat maps. Now, heat maps is like you can see on screen. It's more of a color-coded chart, which gives you a proper indication on, which areas are more populated, that are getting more footfall count. Are there any sort of choke points or bottlenecks in your stores? You can have that addressed as well effectively. So here's a small study we actually did on a previous use case on how, with the use of effective AI-driven analytics, you can actually have the operations of your store optimized and even made more productive. So this is just for reference. It's a very simple example. We took a large retail chain, that we have been servicing, and these are some statistics actually provided based on that. So you can see you can actually have a significant amount of saving, but based on implementing the right solution and technology. So very quickly, let me show you. I'd like to show you what are the sort of tools that you can actually pull up in terms of business intelligence that you can use for further action and get more insights into customer dynamics. So I've created a small demo dashboard actually here. So this is the kind of tools or business intelligence, let's say, that I can pull out from the system. One is I can have heat maps actually looked into. Now you can have this defined based on how long a period you're looking at this for. So is it for a period of 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour? I've just chosen some sample values just to give you an indication of how much of actionable data can actually be made available from the system. So heat maps is one. The people counts, this is pretty standard. You just set up tripwires. on people coming in and out, and you have a count. This again, you can define based on what sort of time duration you're looking at. Now, here's the thing, that I was mentioning earlier. It's us not just giving you the count of the people, but even breaking it down. Like for this time period that I've chosen, I can tell very easily that, okay, during this time period, I had 244 male and 369 female visitors, for example. Then dwell time analysis. Now, this is very, very beneficial where I would say more in operational efficiency. Now, let's say, for example, you're into the retail space and into, let's just take restaurants as an example. So if you're looking to actually monitor how is or what is the efficiency of my staff, for example, how long does it actually take for a person to serve a table? So these are the kind of things that you can actually have monitored. Or if you're looking at a cashier, at a large retail store, how long does it take to actually complete a particular transaction? So these are the kind of insights that you can get into. Now, with our face recognition, I mentioned earlier of you can get proper insights into who your returning visitors are. So I've chosen a time frame, and in that, it's told me out of the 7 visitors that I've actually had, 4 have come back to me again. So you can have various sort of statistics on this. Operational efficiency, again, I can actually look into what my peak hours are during a day, during a week. Is there some sort of a pattern that is developing that is, going to allow me to plan my resources a lot better? So I'll just give you a quick overview on how this actually works. So onto our dashboard, I can just create a new dashboard. I'm just going to call it webinar. Right now here, I can actually look into what I want to pull out from the system. So if it is any of the people counting, unique visitor, people counting heat maps, then I'm going to opt for my traffic flow. Just say next. Maybe I just want to look at a number of visitors. Say next. That's it. You choose your camera, choose the time frame, say save, and it generates the report like I showed you earlier. Or even if I want to even pull up some statistics on face recognition, who my unique visitors are, who my repeating visitors are, or what are the peak hours in a particular time frame. Same thing, choose your cameras that you've already added, choose a time frame, and this is the kind of statistics that you can actually pull out. Right. So this was just a very, very quick overview on the kind of different analytics that you can implement in the retail space that is going to make your operations a lot more proactive, more productive, and even a lot more efficient. Now, if just to summarize all of this, let me very quickly take you through what are the benefits of implementing these solutions. So number one is you've got enhanced security. You've deployed a system that is automated and is going to take care of a lot of your vandalisms, your thefts, your shoplifting, all of this without any human intervention. It's an automated system. As soon as it sees the activity, it will send you an alert, and your operator just needs to action that. That's all. Now, operational efficiency, like I just demonstrated in the dashboard, there's so much of insight that you can get into, in terms of streamlining, in terms of automation. You can plan your marketing better, looking at store layouts, what is actually getting more footfall counts, and so on. You can plan your resources as well a lot better. Improve customer experience. Now, the whole point in retail is to ensure that you have got loyal customers. How do you actually ensure you have loyal customers? By ensuring that your customers had a good experience. And with the use of these AI systems, you can actually pull up statistics to give personalized services. When you look at patterns, you get insights into various different actionable data, like I just showed you, and you enhance the whole customer experience. And lastly, with data-driven decisions. Now, all of these tools just sitting as it is on a system is no good. I mean, unless I can actually make use of the statistics that I'm actually pulling out, that's when I get value. And that value is given to me with the implementation of an AI system. So here was a very, very quick summary on the different kind of analytics that can be used from Scylla, especially in the retail space. I hope the session has been informative, productive. If you do have any questions, I think we can have a quick look at them. Okay, so then if we don't have any questions, I think that would be it from our side. Thank you very much for taking the time to make it to this webinar. We hope it's given you some very useful insights into how you can make your operations more proactive, how you can use data that can be actioned, with the various sort of business intelligence tools that are available. And I think you can get your hands on the webinar link as well post the session. So I'd like to thank you once again and have a nice evening. Thank you.